Well, hello. We're in Deuteronomy, we're in chapter 28. We did the cheerful bit last time. 1 to 14, that's the blessings for obedience. We're now into the curses for disobedience, which is, as I pointed out, it's a much longer section. We've got 14 verses in the blessings. We've got 15 on to 68 for the curses. But anyway, I'll read all of it. All of Scripture is God-breathed. It includes all of this. Then we'll just say a few words on it. I thought of splitting it up, but to get it over with. It's like having a tooth pulled out or something. Just get on with it. So, from the NIV. However, if you do not obey the Lord your God and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I'm giving you today, all these curses will come on you and overtake you. You'll be cursed in the city and cursed in the country. Your basket and your kneading trough will be cursed. The fruit of your womb will be cursed. The crops of your land and the calves of your herds and the lambs of your flocks. You'll be cursed when you come in and cursed when you go out. The Lord will send on you curses, confusion and rebuke in everything you put your hand to until you are destroyed and come to a sudden ruin because of the evil you have done in forsaking him. The Lord will plague you with diseases until he has destroyed you from the land you are entering to possess. The Lord will strike you with wasting disease, with fever and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew, which will plague you until you perish. The sky of your head will be bronze, and the ground beneath you iron. The Lord will turn the rain of the country into dust and powder. It will come down from the skies until you are destroyed. The Lord will cause you to be defeated before your enemies, and you will come at them from one direction, but flee from them in seven. And you will become a thing of horror to all the kingdoms on earth. Your carcasses will be food for the birds and the wild animals, and there will be no one to frighten them away. The Lord will afflict you with the boils of Egypt, and tumours, festering sores, and the itch from which you cannot be cured. The Lord will afflict you with madness and blindness and confusion of mind. At midday you will grope about like a blind person in the dark. You will be unsuccessful in everything you do. Day after day you will be oppressed and robbed, and with no one to rescue you. You will be pledged to be married to a woman, but another will take her and rape her. You will build a house, but you will not live in it. You will plant a vineyard, but will not even begin to enjoy its fruit. Your ox will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will eat none of it. Your donkey will be forcibly taken from you and will not be returned. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and no one will rescue them. Your sons and daughters will be given to another nation, and you will wear out your eyes watching for them day after day, powerless to lift a hand. A people that you do not know will eat what your land and labour produce, and you will have nothing but cruel oppression all your days. The sights you see will drive you mad. The Lord will afflict your knees and legs with painful boils that cannot be cured, spreading from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. The Lord will drive you and the king set over you to a nation unknown to you or your ancestors. There you will worship other gods of wood and stone. You will become a thing of horror, a byword, and an object of ridicule among all the peoples where the Lord will drive you. Now, actually, I haven't said we're going to do the whole lot. We'll stop there, I think. I think it's quite enough. But I'll just make a few comments. I mean, largely it speaks for itself. Nothing works. And you'll see right at the beginning, things are very much an inversion of what the blessings are. You were blessed, instead of being blessed in the city and cursed in the country, you're cursed in the city and cursed in the country. Cursed when you come in and cursed when you go out. Doesn't matter what you do, nothing works. And if we look at the West, this is what's happening. France is in political turmoil. Germany, the government loses. I think there's going to be elections early next year. France, they can't have them until I think July or June or something next year, the earliest they can have them because of the rules they have. United Kingdom, we've got a politically stable government, but they're making an absolute mess of everything. The last lot weren't exactly brilliant, but this lot's even worse. And this happened. What we need to pray for in our country, I mean, you might pray for one government or another government. You might think this party or that party will do a better job. Maybe they will do a bit better. But what we really need above all else is a change in the heart of the nation. That's what we need above all else. Because it doesn't matter which government comes in. I mean, the Reform Party in the UK is doing well in the polls at the moment. They got more votes than the Liberal Democrats in the general election. They've only got 5 seats. It's the way things work here. But their voters' shares going up. Would they do better? Well, there are some things I say I agree with, some things others not. Would they be able to do any better? I personally don't think so. But say what we need is a change in the heart of the nation. We need to pray for revival. We need to pray for God to have mercy on our land. Daniel confessed the sins of his people. We need to confess the sins of the land, along with our own sins, because none of us is perfect, not any stretch of the imagination. But we need to pray for this land, because we are suffering these judgments here, these curses. Remember, I've said many times before, a good way of thinking what the word curse means is God's judgment on man's disobedience. And we are experiencing the judgment of God upon the disobedience of this nation. And that's happening several other nations in the West. Just of thinking of it, I mean, of the big nations in the European Union at the moment, Italy has probably got the most stable government. Now, if you know anything about the history of Europe over the last, since the Second World War, you will know how ridiculous a statement that is. They were changing government. They used to change governments every year or two. They'd have at least one government a year. Now they seem more stable than Germany and France. Anyway, I'm afraid you got one more of these wonderfully cheerful talks when we do the second half of the curses in the next of these. So you might not be looking forward to next Saturday's, which is when these things are released. Anyway, steel yourself and listen to it anyway. All scripture is God-breathed and is useful for training in righteousness.